I'd like to thank Deputy Chief Ripley for putting that presentation together. At this time, if I could have the chiefs come up and the instructors come up and stand by your seats, please. This time, class of 2014, would you please rise? Whether the posting of the colors by the Norton Shores Fire Department Honor Guard. Class, chiefs, instructors, attend. Hup! Detail, at ease. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce your Master of Ceremonies, Captain Pete McCarthy, the course coordinator. Captain McCarthy.
Welcome. As Deputy Chief Grabinski just mentioned, I am Pete McCarthy. I'm a captain with White Lake Fire. It's also been my honor the last couple of years to be the course manager for the Muskegon County Fire Academy. In the event of an emergency, like we do at all fire events, you guys will notice your exits are clearly marked on both sides. But please exit out to the parking lot. Okay? All right. I had the honor and privilege of being the course manager again this year. That's what brings us here together tonight, celebration of these students and their accomplishments. Today we have 21 students, 12 different fire departments that all came together for one common goal. Back in October, I met them for the first time, and we laid out my expectations of them as students, and I also asked for their expectations of me as the course coordinator. Respect, fairness, dedication, commitment were all things that we had talked about making this class successful. They have upheld each and every one of these very, very important traits. I told them that the fire service has many doors throughout their career. There's full-time doors, paid-on-call doors, part-time doors, hazardous materials doors, tech rescue doors. What I have to offer them, I can help open up any one of those doors for them as they progress through their career. But there was one door that I couldn't open for them. That was the door to the classroom. They chose to walk through that door on their own. They did that every class, 2, sometimes 3 times a week for 8 solid months. As the year progressed, I found myself learning as much as I was teaching. For instance, I learned that you can be judged based solely on the size of your belt buckle. I also learned that we could attend every single class and never once fail to have a camouflage hat in the crowd. So for that, I thank you. We had a great group of students this year from all walks of life, college kids, construction workers, paramedics, to military veterans. But no matter what, you guys are a team. The level of dedication, commitment, and leadership that was demonstrated in this academy was absolutely incredible. I watched a group of people who had never met, learn, and train together, and pick up each other when they had fallen. It's no secret that this group of people experienced highs and lows and managed to come through triumphant, no matter what they were up against. I am truly proud of each and every one of you, and I look forward to watching you grow in the fire service. At this time, it's my absolute honor to present to you a 38-year veteran of the fire service, the retired Norton Shores Fire Chief, who sits as the Vice Chair of the Michigan Firefighters Training Council. He also sits on the Governor's Fire Service Safer Council. He's still an active instructor, and he's also a past president of the Michigan Firefighters Training Council. Excuse me, the Michigan Fire Chiefs Association. At this time, please give a warm welcome to retired Fire Chief Dave Purchase.
Thank you, Pete. I'm going to address my remarks not solely to the graduates that are here before me, but to the entire audience. Being an instructor for over 20 years, and having a podium, which, to be honest, I'm probably more comfortable walking around out there, I have to take the opportunity to educate. And what I want to start out with tonight is a little bit about our traditional history. And that is the symbol of the fire service, the Maltese Cross. You will find it everywhere, on your badge, on your t-shirts, your uniforms, your apparatus, in your stations. But do you really know where it came from? To know that, you have to go back to the early 11th century, when a special group of knights were founded in Jerusalem by a Benedictine monk. They served at that time in a Jerusalem hospital and became known as the Order of Knights Hospitaller, later the Knights of St. John. What does that have to do with the fire service? This charitable organization shared the compassion as do today's firefighters by caring for the ill with great empathy and compassion. Later, they became more famously known for their assistance provided to the Knights of the Crusaders in their effort to win back the Holy Land. As the Knights defended the city walls, their fierce opponents staged an aggressive attack and hurled firebombs containing highly flammable liquids at the Knights. As the Knights banded together, they were forced to fight the flames of their attackers, risking life and limb for their brothers, saving many fellow Knights. The Knights were later recognized for their bravery during this epic battle by being given the very island on which the battle occurred, known then as the island of Malta. It was the symbol of their flag, the 8-point cross, that became known as the Maltese Cross. Today, firefighters continue to display the same qualities as those brave knights so many years ago. Regardless if the history of the Maltese Cross is directly related with the fire service, it is a true symbol of sacrifice and courage, which are the same qualities we ask of firefighters today. Today, you will join those firefighters by proudly displaying the Maltese Cross in recognition of self-sacrifice and service to their communities. The Maltese Cross is just one component of who we are. You've heard terms of brotherhood. You are truly entering a profession that I believe is one of the greatest callings you can have. You will risk your life to save others. It will pull you from your families at times, sometimes at the most inopportune times. The term attitude, I think, plays an important, if you will, thought towards what a firefighter is all about. Many times you hear managers speak of employees about their attitudes. I looked at this a while ago and I thought, what is attitude? As a former chief, I dealt with many attitudes in my own department. I had to deal with my own attitudes. Attitude is important because for teamwork to work, it usually demands effort. And effort goes towards attitude. Attitude is your manner, your disposition, your feeling, your position, with regards to position, person, thing, tendency, orientation, especially the mind. You see, you really do own your own attitude. I'm asking each of you to reflect on your attitude today, not to lose sight on what that attitude is, what it's like to go on that first call. Everyone on this stage remembers. We remember the day we joined the fire service, the commitment that it took, which I believe is even more difficult today in today's society. I took each of the letters in the word attitude and I tried to define what it meant. A stands for attendance. For you, it means simply show up. Be involved. It is important for you to take active roles in the departments you are now going to be representing. Your communities, your families, and certainly yourselves have made great investment in this training. But it is of no good if you don't show up. We need firefighters who answer the bell at all hours of the night. In fact, in talking to some of the chiefs on stage tonight, they are here, heads propped up, after being out on a call till some 5 a.m. in the morning. And yet they still reported to work at 8. That's the attendance we're looking for. That's what's desired. The first T stands for teamwork. Nothing gets done without the team. Everything gets done for the team. You are not alone. You are not alone on the job. You are not alone in the station. You're not alone when you go on vacation. Again, I believe if you talk to any firefighter that's been out of town, if they had a question or a need of assistance, it was only as far away as the closest fire station. You are joining a true brotherhood that will open up their arms for you no matter where you go. We recognize the commitment that you've made, and we all appreciate that commitment. The second T is for training. If you think that by completing this academy you have completed your training, then you might as well get up and walk out that back door. I often said that training should never stop. It doesn't stop for the firefighter, it doesn't stop for the fire chief, till the day you walk out the door. You will learn new things every day. You will seek new ideas. You will become an advocate of training in your own department. For it's training that keeps you sharp when experience cannot. And right now, you do lack a little experience. Not only learning is a responsibility, but teaching is a responsibility as well. So I want you to think about that from an instructor's viewpoint. As an entry-level firefighter, it won't be long before you will be sharing your own skills with those that will follow in your footsteps. Be supportive of those that come in after you, knowing what you have gone through and what they're about to. The I is initiative, taking action to solve problems. We need people with initiative. We can't wait for things just to get done. We have to make it happen. The third T is an important one. It's called trust. You must learn to build trust, to give and receive trust. When you're crawling down that hallway at 2 in the morning with smoke so thick you can't see the hand in front of your own face, you will rely on the trust of your brother that's behind you and supporting you should something go wrong. You need to give that trust back. It's earned. The U is understanding. You need to learn how to view things from others' perspective. Perhaps this is where I could call on the families. You've got a son, a daughter, a significant other, spouse. You're here because of a friend, a neighbor. Somebody is about to enter the world of the fire service. And it is a commitment. It could mean Christmas at the fire station, Easter on a call. I'm pretty safe in saying this because my wife did not join me tonight, but for us, I took her to the most amazing garage fire for our 25th wedding anniversary. It just happened. Some would say it was a choice, and I would agree with that. I didn't have to go, but I made that commitment when I joined. You do miss time. So now I will also say, when you're not on that call, when you're not at that training, when you're not in that station, you need to pay attention to who matters most in your life, your family. You need to learn how to share time, because this job does rob time, but it will be very rewarding. The D is development. It's development not only of yourself, but of the people all around you. In the fire service, we're big on succession planning. You're the bottom of the ladder right now. It's an exciting time. But soon, you will be jockeying and vying for positions, perhaps officers in the future, perhaps even someday a leader, a chief of the department. We all started in your very same shoes. So it's important for you to look at developing the people around you, so you too can have a competent team to support you when you rise to those positions. And finally, the E. The E is a commitment to excellence. You see, it's about 100% right 100% of the time. We don't get do-overs in the fire service. Very rarely can we afford a mistake. We have but one chance to get it right, and that takes teamwork, practice, patience, initiative, excellence, training. I implore you to greet this new profession with open eyes and open arms. It's an exciting time, and it should be. It should be for everybody in this room, for we see it in your eyes, and we see it in your actions. And I applaud you for taking that first step and welcome you into the greatest profession known to man. Thank you.
Really, 14, 15 years ago, my career began on the east side of the state, in the city of Sterling Heights. Obviously, Chief Purchase was on the west side of the state. We didn't know each other. We never attended academy together. But about 12, 13 years ago, Chief Purchase was teaching a Fire Chief 101 class, and I was aspiring to be a chief. And I went to the class and I trained and we struck up a friendship. Little did I know that over the years, our friendship is more than just a personal connection, personal network. And we've since worked on many projects together, all for the better of the fire service. So, Chief, thank you. Good evening, thank you for being here this evening. On behalf of the State Fire Marshal Rich Miller and the entire staff of the Bureau of Fire Services, I extend the warmest congratulations to each one of the candidates and students here tonight. There are a couple of thank yous I would like to start off with first. The students were supported during the program by the families, friends, and many fire service personnel. We owe them a debt of gratitude for all they have done in supporting the students. Thank you for providing them the much needed understanding, advice, and even some slack. You've shared with them some triumphs, maybe some frustrations, some highs, and probably some lows. For your ongoing encouragement, you believed in them and helped them get through themselves. It's well appreciated. However, the support has really just begun. After class, these students will be assigned to duties within their respective departments. There will be times when they need your counseling, support, someone to talk to, and understand the concerns and the situations they'll probably be facing. Please continue to support your firefighter. They will need it from time to time. I also want to recognize all the fire service personnel, especially for the chiefs and chiefs officers, for their dedication and behind-the-scenes support and planning that goes into each and every one of these academies. I should tell you, the Bureau of Fire Service may ask, why do we have a horse in this race? Besides being a regulatory agency and overseeing many fire prevention and inspection activities, the Bureau of Fire Service is also responsible for the education and training for over 33,000 firefighters across the state. It's really an extension of our office, that every one of these chief officers and these instructors that you see here today, that really is what brings it all home. We can review all the curriculum we want. We can think the program, we can work with the training council to make sure that we deliver the best training. But unless the dedication and support from all the people you see, it'll never happen. And finally, the Muskegon County Training Center and the instructors for a job well done. Thank you for running a very efficient program. You've carried out some very important responsibilities. Exciting, educating and training these firefighters. You have tirelessly taught, trained, and counseled them as they journeyed on the road to success. As their teachers, you have prepared them for a very specialized career and a terrific start on a great future. I ask the instructors, please stand. I know there's chiefs involved too. Chiefs, please. I'd like to give them a round of applause for their dedication. My fire service career began just over 30 years ago when I graduated from the Michigan Fire Academy, very much like you. I too sat in the audience hearing a speech very similar to Chief Purchase and some of the things that you're going to hear tonight. We showed a video, we seen the hunger, our audience seen the hunger in our eyes and the thirst for knowledge. We had many of our relatives sitting in the audience just as you do here tonight. And I can speak from personal experience, just as any other fire service personnel can. The years will go by very quickly. Technology will continue to change to meet the changing conditions, the changing environment that you'll be expected to work in. An environment that is not forgiving unless you bring your A game every day, every incident. Today's fire service must deal with infectious diseases that we never thought possible. Hazardous materials that we can't even pronounce half of the time. Lightweight building construction materials that fail many times without advanced warning. And man-made products that burn hotter and produce more smoke than we ever thought. Least not forget the continuous threat of terrorism. So how will you deal with these changes? Stay hungry for knowledge, just as you were in your academy. That hungry eye that was in that video, that thirst, maintain it. Continue your education. Read the magazines, read the publications. There's many, many websites out there and video libraries that you can to access the latest and greatest information in your profession. Listen to the experience around you. Those veterans that are around you have a lot of time, a lot of experience, and they're wanting to share the knowledge with you. Attend seminars, workshops, conferences. Stay up to date on the latest and greatest advances in your industry. And don't be afraid to critique your incidents. Don't be afraid to realize what went good, what could have been a little bit better, what might you have done a little bit different. Advance your formal education. Whether it's taking the 16 Life Initiatives, Safety Initiatives program, or working towards your college degree, or going to the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. In today's society, it is easier than ever to get credit for experiential learning, to perform or secure your education through online training or distant learning. Take advantage of it. You'll only better yourself. Second, maintain your thirst to stay active. Participate in training. Just don't show up, but participate. Anybody can show up to a training event, but be there. Touch the tools, touch the equipment, perform, be proficient in what you do. Make the runs. When that pager goes off or that tones go down, make the runs. It's that experience that you're going to gain that will make you a better firefighter and keep you safer throughout your career. Pursue promotional opportunities. Be a mentor, just as you were mentored. And consider becoming an instructor and teach others, just as these instructors have to you during this program. Continue to establish a professional network. Today, all 21 of you have already had a start on a network. Different patches, different departments, but I guarantee you, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, potentially 30 years from now, you'll still maintain relationships. Don't stop there. You already have a built-in family with the Muskegon County Fire Training Academy. You have instructors that I'm sure you've built many bonds with. You have chief officers that show that they cared and they're willing to step forward. And yes, you even have myself and the Bureau of Fire Service to lend a hand and support when necessary. But don't become career complacent. You're taking on a significant responsibility as a firefighter in today's fire service. As those before you, you must be ready to respond to anything. You must perform correctly the first time, every time in a safe and efficient manner. We in the fire service do not get do-overs. When you do start your job, your first day on the job, promise me you'll do something every day. Every day report to work, bring in something. A good attitude, a new skill or best practice, maybe a simple dozen bagels, or maybe a simple smile. The only product that we deliver to our citizens, and we need to do that, the only product we deliver is service to our citizens, and we need to do that with the right attitude. Keep that high sense of spirit and duty, and I know you will. Ladies and gentlemen, this fine group of 21 graduates, which is made up of 11 fire departments from Muskegon County and 1 department from Ottawa County. Each of these graduates has already overcome many challenges not related to the fire service. Holding a job and being part of a family is a consideration that each one of them dealt with since last October. And perhaps in the purest form of brother and sisterhood that the fire service knows is when this graduating class came together in support of classmate Jonathan Jacobs and the challenges that he faces. I am not sure who received more from this interaction, Jonathan, the graduates, or the entire Muskegon County Fire Service. Persistence and tenacity will always be your friend. As you move forward in your professional and personal lives, you'll be constantly challenged. You have already proven that you're up to it. Michael Jordan, a famous basketball player, once said, "Some people want it to happen, some people wish it would happen, others make it happen." Today, all 21 of you made it happen. Godspeed, stay safe out there, and again, congratulations.
Thanks again to Deputy Director DePrez for coming out tonight. At this time, take a moment to recognize each individual student with a certificate of completion. I'd like to start by welcoming Fire Chief of Blue Lake Township Fire, Fire Chief Larry Radke. Fire Recruit Jonathan Jacobs. We're going to have Dalton Fire Chief, Chief Alan Stiles. Fire Recruit Kevin Ferguson. If I could have Eggleston Firefighter Dan Minzy please come to the stage. Handing out their certificate to his brother, Jonathan Minzy. Fire Chief, Ferrisburg Township, Mike Olthoff. Fire Recruit Steve Andrews. Deputy Chief, Fruitport Township Fire, Brian McKelly. Fire Recruit Russ Lehrman. Fire Recruit Russ Larman, excuse me. I only stood backstage telling myself that it rhymed with hair, and I still messed it up. Fire Recruit Adam Morse. I'd like to welcome Fire Chief Art Stevens from Holton Township Fire Department. Fire Recruit Joshua Hawk. Fire Recruit Danny Russell. Fire Recruit Nicholas Sigurdsson. Fire Chief from Moreland Township Fire, Mike Decker. Fire Recruit Dave Hild. Fire Recruit Darren Troyer. North Muskegon Fire Chief Steve Lake. Recruit Sandy Wilder. Norton Shores Fire Chief Bob Gagnon. Fire Recruit Eric Abdullah. Fire Recruit Andrea Robinson. Fire Recruit Stephen Cruzel. Ravenna Fire Chief Greg Crowley. Fire Recruit Jeremy Crowley. Fire Recruit Scott Hilgeman. Fire Recruit Chad Patterson. Fire Recruit Wayne Port. White Lake Fire Chief Gregory Holman. Fire Recruit Austin B. And Fire Recruit Jacob Grinmas. Deputy Chief Krabinski.
If we could, one more round of applause for the new firefighters. Firefighters and families, I have the honor of reading some words of wisdom from retired Chief Rick Lasky, who is the developer and author of a program called Pride and Ownership, which is something that we believe in. And it starts out with, "Dear citizen, please allow me to introduce myself. I am your firefighter. I'm the one who shows up at the firehouse for my shift, and I'm the one who shows up when the pager goes off. If we passed each other on the street, you most likely wouldn't recognize me. My face may not be familiar, but rest assured, I am your firefighter. I am a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, a son, a daughter, and yes, a grandfather and a grandmother. I have 8 myself, so. I am writing to you in an effort to clear up some misinformation. You may have heard lately that firefighters make too much money or don't want to respond when the rooftop siren on the firehouse wails, that they don't care and have lost their grip on the true meaning of being a firefighter. Rest assured, they haven't. And the class in front of you is an attestament to that. They still very much do care and do more to stand that post than ever before. We train in the skills of firefighting, emergency medical services, hazardous materials, specialized rescue, and yes, in weapons of mass destruction. The list is long and can range from the basic to the extremely technical. We do not sit around the firehouse and play checkers like you may have read in a children's book. We stand ready to respond to your emergency no matter what it is. You see, they are your firefighters. We sleep in a firehouse with a pager next to our bed at home, ready at a moment to respond to someone in need. Our response to those who need us is done so without prejudice. We don't perform a credit check or make you submit an application. We respond to your needs immediately without regard as to who you are or what status you carry in your community. We take care of the wealthy and the homeless, and we will treat your children, your grandmother, and your home or business as if they were our own. This is not a practiced or trained skill, but a way of life for your firefighter. To us, it's not a job or even a profession. It's a calling, one that involves the thrill of helping others in their time of need. You see, they are your firefighters. It's not a new job. We've been there for you since Benjamin Franklin decided to create the first volunteer fire department. The position has gone from that of prominence to that which people look down on, to that of a hero after our country was attacked, to once again, to those who have too much. Most of us work 2 jobs in an attempt to put food on the table or into a college fund. Many of us do this for little to nothing. We miss a lot of our kids' soccer games, recitals, birthday parties, and so many special moments that are gone forever to either work that shift or make that call. We work on Christmas and Easter and a long list of other holidays and run out the door when our children are opening their presents from Santa. When you wouldn't think of giving up one of those special moments, they do. We stand ready for you. Yes, it is a choice we made of serving others, but it was a choice made without promise of wealth or personal gain, just that taking care of others. You see, they are your firefighters. And can we address that of being a hero? You see, of us who serve or who have served as firefighters, do not consider the position that of a hero. We will admit the task does require acts and deeds of bravery at times. It comes with the work we love to do. Again, we're just moms, dads, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters who just want to make a difference in the communities we serve. We have never met a firefighter who said, "I can't wait to be a hero today." All they want to do is serve others, take care of people, and have a belief in family that is paralleled by few. They are value-driven, not money-driven, so please do not read this wrong. Firefighters are some of the bravest people that we know, but there is a difference between an act and a belief in something special. To them, it's not about being a hero. It's more about being guardians, those which support family. You see, they are your firefighters. We paint, clean, maintain, and mow the grass at our firehouses. Not as much because it saves our taxpayers money, but because it's our home. We realize that a firehouse has stood within a neighborhood as a place of safety for decades, a place where a senior citizen who is lost and can't find the way home can go and find help. And those helping her will treat her like she was their own grandmother. A place where a child who is scared, lost, or being followed by a bad person can go and find protection. Please understand, to a firefighter, their firehouse isn't just another building. It's their home and a symbol of what is right within a community. It's a building where we train together, prepare to respond to our call to help together, and for some where we eat, sleep, and spend a third of our lives together. It is where we can stand ready for you. You see, they are your firefighters. We realize that each time the economy takes a downturn, the first thing they say at City Hall is, what can we cut in the fire department? And we once again will do more with less. We will always try to be good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars and save money wherever we can, but there's only so much we can do with less. We can line the streets with as many fire engines and ladder trucks as you want. Keep in mind that fire trucks don't fight fires. Firefighters do. And we need them to be successful at serving you. We'll change your smoke detector battery free of charge. Make sure that there is no carbon monoxide in your home waiting to harm you or your loved ones. And we'll walk with you through your home, helping you identify areas that need to be addressed for your family's safety. We stop along that dark roadside and help you change a flat tire because you are family and we would never leave a loved one stranded along a road. We read to children, hoping to promote literacy and to help them understand that reading is important but can be fun too, and that those that can read do well in life. We conduct fundraisers to help those in need and give a little child fighting cancer a ride on our fire engine because we know that 30 seconds of your life can change another's forever. And if you're ever wondering just how important a firefighter is in the life of a child, the next time you're in your local bookstore, go to the children's section and count how many fire engine, hook and ladder trucks and ambulances you see in the books there. To a child, they are a hero, but more importantly, a mentor and a role model. Again, a person who values family. You see, they are your firefighters. It may seem that I am a bit partial when it comes to firefighters, because I am, but please don't look for an apology. I am that way because I have seen firefighters risk it all for those they do not know, and in some cases for those who could care less about them. I have seen the biggest of them kneel down next to and help an 85-year-old grandmother who has fallen for the 5th time this month with such care and compassion that you find yourself choking back tears. I have watched them bring life into this world, save lives, and many times do everything in their power to the point of exhaustion to save another's life, only to not be able to do so. And I have heard them cry. Yes, firefighters do have feelings, and yes, they do cry. You'll never see it because they'll do it when they are alone or in the bunk room sitting on the side of their bed. It's after they've done everything to breathe life back into that baby or to cut someone's daughter out of their wrecked car or after they have lost a fellow firefighter in the line of duty. It's not normal to see what a firefighter has to see or to do what a firefighter has to do, but they do it. They do it because they want to serve you. They want to stand that post for you and your family, to be there for you all day long, for you long after you go to bed. You see, they are your firefighters. In closing again, firefighters don't do it for the recognition. Yes, they are proud of what they do, but don't try to give them medals or accolades. They'll just tell you they were doing their job. They have a passion for serving others and are not looking for rewards. Maybe just decent tools, equipment, and protective clothing to do their jobs. The training that keeps them prepared to take care of you and your family, and the staffing they need in order to make that happen. And once in a while, the secure feeling of knowing that they'll be able to continue volunteering in your community or working in that firehouse without the fear of cuts or closings. They won't ask for laser beams, fancy titles, or for a room with a view. To be honest, we already have the best view in the house. It's from the firehouse down the block from your home, the one that allows them the privilege and honor of serving you and your family. You see, they are your firefighters, and we will always be there for you. Again, written by Rick Lasky, who's is a dad, a husband, a son, a brother, and a firefighter. Firefighters, take these words and live by them. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call Jonathan Jacob to the podium. He has a few words for the class, some things he'd like to say. Jonathan was not able to complete our academy in normal fashion because he has come through a very stressful moment. But I will say this, that having Jonathan as a member of this class has brought this class closer together than any class I have ever seen. And for that, they will always be grateful to Jonathan Jacobs.
It's been quite a year. I think we've been through some things that'll bring us closer. Doesn't matter what fire scene we're going to be on, we're just going to be happy to see each other. I found myself with a lot of time on my hands lately. I've been writing for something called Station Pride, and it is about pride and tradition in the fire service. And at first I was pretty hesitant. I'm just like you guys. I'm Fire Academy. I've barely been on a call, But I decided to take them up on the offer, maybe kind of give them a fresh perspective as pride and tradition of the fire service from a recruit's perspective, from a rookie's perspective. I wrote this for you guys yesterday. I'd like to read it to you. A good firefighter can be made. You can take any person off the street, give them the training and knowledge, and make them a good firefighter. They can do everything by the book, follow every SOG and SOP you have written. They can probably write the book for you. You can make a good firefighter. However, if you had the choice between a good firefighter and a great firefighter to come to your aid, wouldn't you want the great one? Great firefighters are born. They have a heartbeat from the first cardiac contraction that has a pulse for others. From there, that heart is cultivated through a childhood of true compassion and willingness to help. You may not know it, but they're there. They're the ones watching out for their friends while everyone maybe isn't being too smart. Kids will be kids. They're the ones later that seem to be driving everybody to the ER because that jump was higher than I thought. That compassion flows through them with every cell and ventricle contraction. Something that the hematologists can't see, but it's there. Finally, the opportunity's here. It was our first day of Fire Academy. Through training, knowledge, repetition, and practice, you become more than a good firefighter. At that point, you become a great firefighter. From that day on, we have the basis and tools to continue to grow and to continue to be great. We never stop. We don't waste a single breath because that last one may be given so that another may live. That's greatness. You can't train that. Good firefighters are made. Great firefighters are born, trained, and cultivated. Congratulations, everyone, on your first day of being great firefighters. Don't stop. Keep being great.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Next, I'd like to bring out Dalton Fire Chief for a special presentation. Fire Chief Alan Stiles.
Kind of hard to follow that up, huh? You guys know me, I'm going to try. Eight months ago, we, the chiefs decided we're going to open the academy. Getting emotional. Everybody asks why I get emotional when I do this. Because we realized what our job is. Yet we don't. So I have the distinct pleasure tonight to explain to you a little bit about our traditions, as Chief just did, just as Jonathan even did. We're going to talk about something that's very important. And most of the gentlemen up here know where I'm coming from, and they will know when this is over. I'm going to give you a little history, because you guys all know I like history. During World War I, a group of American volunteers filled some new formed flying squadrons. In one squadron, a young lieutenant ordered medallions struck in solid bronze, presented to his unit as a token of their unity. One young pilot placed that medallion in a small pouch around his neck. In a battle several weeks later, that same young pilot, his plane was severely damaged by German gunfire, and he was shot down behind enemy lines. Quickly captured, he was stripped of everything but the pouch around his neck. Shortly after his capture, he was able to escape and cross into the French lines. He was spotted by an infantry unit from the French, who were about to execute him when they noticed his medallion. They realized that he was from an American unit. They took him back as a sign of respect to that unit and realized that he was not a spy. Back in his squadron, it became a tradition that the members carried their coins at all times. This was accomplished through a challenge. Now, we challenged you 8 months ago. We're going to challenge you again tonight. If a challenger, me, challenges you, for your coin, you must produce it. I can stand here tonight and know of at least 4 gentlemen sitting behind me that better produce. Look, they're thinking. We'll get back to that in a minute. The members were told to keep the coin at all times. If a challenged could not produce the coin, they must buy a drink, do a chore, or whatever was ordered by the challenger. If they could produce their coin, the challenger had to do the task. This is how we have been known as challenge coins today. The purpose of our challenge coin is to instill camaraderie, pride, and a sense of unity. The coin reminds us we are not alone in this endeavor. It serves as a reminder to each member that other members are supporting them, both on and off duty, through the good times, difficulties, and sometimes tragedy that we face in our lives and in our chosen profession. We hope to create a tradition that shows our respect for our profession, for all those who have served before us. Therefore, the holder of this coin should keep it with respect and honor by continuing to uphold the values, the commitment to our community, and the courage to face dangerous situations with compassion for those in need. Now, I wouldn't be a chief if there wasn't rules. So, I didn't write these, I just followed. There will be a test. Rule number 1. Rules of the game for challenge coins must be explained to new coin holders. so pay attention. There are no exceptions to the rules. Number 3, the coin must be carried at all times. You can be challenged for it anytime, anywhere. You must produce your coin without taking more than 4 steps to produce it. Number 4, when challenging, the challenger must state what the challenge is. Some examples are a round of drinks, those of you can, a meal, or completion of chores, but the list is truly endless. Number 5, failure to produce the coin for whatever reason results in whatever the challenger stated. This type of transaction can be expensive, so hold on to your coin. Once the offender, coinless challenge as we call them, has bought that round or done that chore, they no longer can be challenged again for that day. If all the challenge coins are produced, the challenger loses and accepts whatever he challenged. This too can be expensive, so choose wisely. Just checking. Under no circumstances can your coin be handed to another in response for a challenge. If a person gives their coin to another, that person can keep the coin. It is now theirs. However, if a person places the coin down and another person picks it up to examine it, it cannot be considered giving, and the examiner is honor bound to place the coin back where he got it, and the examiner cannot be challenged while holding another's coin. If a coin is lost, replacement is up to the individual. A new coin can be acquired at the earliest opportunity. Losing a coin and not replacing it doesn't relieve the member of his or her responsibilities. This is especially true for your members knowingly who traditionally carry a coin. Keep watching these guys. A coin is a coin. It is not a belt buckle, a keychain, or a necklace. However, in honor of our founder, coins may be worn in a holder around the neck. The coin should be controlled at all times. Giving a coin to just anyone is like opening a fraternity to anyone. It is an honor. Let's keep it that way. A given or awarded coin is more personal in value than a purchased one. Drill no holes in your coin. The above rules apply to anyone who is worthy to be given or awarded a coin or has purchased a coin. With that being said, graduates, please rise and come forward. Deputy President, if you would, sir. As you accept this coin, you do so with the obligation to the ideals and embraces, and all Challenger coins rules now apply. May you carry this coin in good spirit, good health, and as always, with a sense of nobility. Congratulations, and welcome to the proudest profession of all. You may be seated.
Spouses and the children who missed them while they were gone in class and training, while they were home studying. This academy is a commitment not only by the student, but by the family around them, because without their support, success will not be achieved. I would like to take a moment to recognize those family members that made those sacrifices. Students, please stand, applaud your family members. You may be seated. I thought, I'm going to make him stand. No, I won't do that. I have in my career been a great firefighter, but there are times while doing so that I was a mediocre father and sometimes even a lousy husband. Remember that every time you respond to that station, whether it be emergency or non, the people behind you made that possible, and those are the ones that are at home waiting for you. Okay? We must also thank the chiefs, the instructors, members of the departments who were there to answer questions, offer tips for success, and must also remember that when given the opportunity in the future, it is on you guys and gals to pay it forward to the new class of firefighters. Congratulations to you all for successfully completing the 2014 Muskegon County Fire Academy. But think of this not as the end of your education, but again, rather the beginning. You must never stop learning. The biggest weapon that we have in this war is information about the enemy. Again, thanks to the Muskegon Area Fire Chiefs for the opportunity to be the course manager. Thanks to Deputy Chief Bob Grabinski, Fire Chief Alan Stiles for their guidance and mentorship along the way. And thank you to my Chief, Fire Chief Greg Holman, for supporting me in everything that I did and always being behind me. At this point, when you go back to your departments, you may still be a recruit or a probie or some other things that we may call you in the confines of the fire station. But as of right now, the state of Michigan recognizes you as a firefighter. Again, that's a big deal. That is not something that should be taken lightly. In your community, you are always a firefighter, no matter where you go or what you do. Okay? Always fly your flag proudly. Wish you all the best of luck when you guys go out in your careers. I want you to know, if you ever need anything, you have my number, okay? And that goes for all these gentlemen sitting on this stage, okay? We're here every step of the way. Anything we can ever do, we're there for you. Again, congratulations. Welcome to the Brotherhood. We'll see you guys on the big one.